Cambodian Genocide Research Project. What is genocide? Genocide, a term used to describe violence against members of a national, ethnical, race, or religious group with the intent to destroy the entire group. The Cambodian genocide starts with Khmer Rouge, when he took control of the Cambodian government in 1975 with the goal of turning the country into communist Argentinian utopia. What they really did was empty the cities and evacuated millions of people to labor camps where they were starved and abused. What are the 8 stages? The 8 stages of genocide are classification, symbolization, dehumanization, organization, polarization, preparation, extermination, and denial. Details about the 8 stages. Classification. Us versus them. Distinguishing people by nationality, ethnicity, race, or religion. Symbolization. Calling them names. They gave names or other symbols to be classified. Dehumanization. Denies some people of being human. It was easier for the citizens to accept what their government was doing to some people. The new people were related to diseases or viruses and threatened the rest of the society. Organization. They come together as a group so must be organized. Khmer Rouge separated the groups by new people and base people. Continued. Polarization. You are with us or against us. You can only be one of two. Either you are a new person or a base person. Preparation. The victims are identified and separated by their ethnic or religious identity. Death lists were made and society is polarized. Extermination. Beginning of the mass killing legally named genocide. He made a strict work schedule that required new and base people to work all day from dusk to dawn. Starvation was rampant. And when goal wasn't being met, several victims went through the torture prison. Denial. The predators of genocide dig up the mass graves, burn the bodies, try to cover up the evidence, and intimidate the witnesses. They believed that the genocide was very necessary in cleansing.
Why does it happen? Genocides happen due to a variety of reasons, including extreme prejudice against other cultures or races, propaganda, fear of other cultures or races, a heightened sense of nationalism, and ill-informed ideas on how to conduct social change. Additionally, some cultures try to create legends of their own ruthlessness. Genocides occur when they think the other race/people are a real threat, so they try to get rid of them altogether. What is the history of your event? Genocide in Cambodia. By April 1975, a communist group known as the Khmer Rouge, led by Pol Pot, seized control of Cambodia, renaming the country Democratic Kampuchea. Civil war had existed in Cambodia since 1970. This is the Khmer Rouge regimen. Right over here is where Cambodia is, and then this is the timeline. In 1993, the Khmer Rouge boycotts the election. Why did they do this? With the goal of turning the country into a communist agrarian utopia, also targeted minority groups, victims of the Khmer Rouge's racism. These included ethnic Chinese, Vietnamese, Thai, and also Cambodians with Chinese, Vietnamese, or Thai ancestry. Half the Cham Muslim population was murdered and 8,000 Christians. What is the history of your event? The Cambodian Genocide, also known as Khmer, was carried out by the Khmer Rouge (KR) regimen, led by Pol Pot between 1975 and 1979, in which an estimated 1.5 to 3 million people died. The genocide ended in 1979 following the Vietnamese invasion of Cambodia.
Who did this to whom? Khmer Rouge to the Cambodian government to nationalize and centralize the peasant farming society. Pol Pot from 1925 to 1998, and his communist Khmer Rouge movement led Cambodia from 1975 to 1979. During the time, about 1.5 million Cambodians died of starvation, execution, disease, or overwork. Some estimate the death toll even higher. One detention center, S21, was also notorious that only 7 of the roughly 20,000 people imprisoned there are known to have survived. When they overthrew the Cambodian government in 1975, it started after their seizure of power from the Lon Nol government until the overthrow of Khmer Rouge by the Vietnamese in 1978. On April 17, 1975, Pol Pot led the communist forces of the Khmer Rouge into the capital city of Phnom Penh, beginning a vicious 4-year regime in Cambodia. How many died? The Cambodian genocide resulted in the gradual devastation of over 25% of the country's population in just 4 short years. The genocide was limited to journalists, lawyers, doctors, intellectuals, and members of the upper class. It also dealt with various religious and ethnic groups or anyone associated with the West. During the genocide, people were starved, abused, tortured, and killed. An estimated 1.5 to 3 million Cambodians died during the 4-year reign. Many were also shot for smiling or crying, as it was forbidden to show any kind of emotion. The data showed that the number of deaths were near 3.3 million. An estimated 25% of the total population died due to Khmer Rouge's policies of forced relocation from urban centers, used for forced labor, and malnutrition.
What happened? During the genocide, people were starved, abused, tortured, and killed. An estimated 1.5 to 3 million Cambodians died during the 4-year reign. Many were also shot for smiling or crying, as it was forbidden to show any kind of emotion. The data showed that the number of deaths was near 3.3 million. An estimated 25% of the total population died due to the Khmer Rouge policies of forced relocation from urban centers, used for forced labor, and malnutrition. How, if at all, did other countries respond to the news of the event? Clashes with Vietnam broke out in 1977, and on January 7, 1979, Vietnam invaded Cambodia. They overthrew the Khmer Rouge and installed a socialist regime comprised of Khmer Rouge defectors. Did anyone come to help the victims? Neither the U.S. nor Europe called attention to the genocides. Others, such as scholars and others in the West, tried to bring attention to the atrocities being committed. The Khmer Rouge went on fighting the Vietnam-backed government. Throughout the 1980s, Khmer Rouge forces were covertly backed by America and the UK, who trained them in the use of landmines because of their united hostility to Communist Vietnam. The West's fueling of the Khmer Rouge held up Cambodia's recovery for a decade. Click the video.